Please welcome Willie Brown.
It's nice to see Alex again. It's been a very long time. My role tonight is a very pleasing, wonderful one for me, because I'm able to share with you a person who met and who meets on a regular basis every one of the standards that Alex described that makes you eligible for this award. I must say, before I tell you who that is, however, and let you see for yourself, based upon the nature of the electronic display of who she is and what she's been about, we really should give a round of applause to the person who runs the Bay Area Council, because frankly, I have never seen anything as laid out and as well planned and executed as he is doing on this particular night, and nor have I seen as much electronic equipment since I went to a rock concert involving rock and rollers in a very fashionable way, and that's Jim Wonderman. Now, he is not yet qualified for the honor, however, that's being presented tonight. Those things that were described by Alex are best exemplified in a woman who I've had the great pleasure of knowing and working with, and who was bold enough to embrace my candidacy for local office when most people, or many people, at her significant level doubted whether or not one who had tried to abolish local government should ever be permitted to try to run local government. She saw better than most. And in just the next 10 seconds, you're going to see exactly why I am an incredible admirer of none other than one of the people we honor tonight, Florence Fang.
Florence Fang is the daughter of two mothers, her birth home, China, and her adopted home, the United States. And for the better part of her life, Fang has devoted herself to bringing them closer together while building an impressive and groundbreaking array of businesses and amassing an incredible legacy of civic and philanthropic leadership.
I consider myself as the daughter of the United States and China. I love these two countries dearly.
Much of Fang's identity stems from her traditional Chinese upbringing and the values of hard work, dignity, resilience, and determination that have been her hallmark and would earn her the moniker in some circles as Steel Mulan or Magnolia. Fang, however, always identified with the peacock, elegant, graceful, strong, and confident. After fleeing mainland China for Taiwan during the Second Chinese Revolution, Fang met her husband, John, a journalism student from UC Berkeley, and they moved to San Francisco. Years later, when cancer took her husband, Fang took over the family's growing portfolio of media, publishing, restaurant, and real estate businesses, all while raising 3 sons.
The most successful businesswoman that we have in San Francisco. There's no other businesswoman that controls a medium empire. There's no other businesswoman that I know of that controls a real estate empire. There's no other businesswoman that I know of that has 3 formidable sons, all of whom are making a contribution in the public specter in San Francisco.
Fang's media properties were among the shiniest jewels of her empire, Asian Week was the nation's first and largest English-language newspaper serving Asian Americans, and Fang's landmark purchase of the San Francisco Examiner made her the first Asian American in the country to own a major daily newspaper. Outside of her flourishing business ventures, Fang would leverage her growing public stature, civic activism, and powerful political circles to advance her passion for improving education and deepening cultural ties between her two mothers. Fang provided major support for the establishment of the East Asian Library at UC Berkeley and the School of Chinese as a Second Language at Peking University, which carries her name. She founded the 100,000 Strong Foundation to enable U.S. students to study in China, a program that was later expanded by President Barack Obama and Chinese President Xi Jinping. With close friend President George H.W. Bush, Fang co-founded the George Bush Foundation for U.S.-China Relations, which later honored her with its Lifetime Achievement Award. Foundation Chairman Neil Bush, son of the 41st president, called Fang a visionary and charismatic bridge builder for her unique and invaluable role in deepening U.S.-China understanding and friendship. It was just one of a trove of honors and awards recognizing her enduring influence and contributions. Fang was twice named California Woman of the Year and was recipient of the Bay Area Council's Global Leadership Award. Through her Florence Fang Family Foundation, she continues to support a wide range of local community programs and services throughout the Bay Area, and her vivid sense of whimsy and imagination are no better displayed than in the Flintstone house she purchased in Hillsborough to delight visitors and passing motorists on Highway 280. Florence Fang grew up the daughter of two countries, but after a lifetime of nurturing and support, she has become a mother to both.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Willie Brown. Thank you, my friends. And the Fang family has been working with the CEO and the President, Jim Wonderman, and the Bay Area Council for many years to promote the better quality of life in San Francisco Bay Area. And I became more closer to Bay Area Council during the purchase the historical Klamath ferry boat and to restore to their new office. This is really a newest landmark for San Francisco. Congratulations. People may wonder who this Asian woman is. What motivated her to doing all the things she did? So tonight, I try to answer the question. Before I start, I'd like to have a quote. Reality becomes a dream. A dream you dream alone can only be a fantasy. A dream we dream together to become reality. My life in the United States is an Asian American story. And the people has described my life for three periods of times: peacock, hen, and ego. When I studied at the university in Taiwan, I was not only a straight A student, but also actively served as the president of the student body. That time, I was a little proud peacock. When I'm walking, I put my head up, full of self-confidence. And after graduating from the universities, I came to United States, started family. Then all of a sudden, from a little proud peacock, changed to a hen. Because I raised the family and working very busy to find the food to feed my 3 boys, James, Ted, and Douglas. And after the family acquired the San Francisco Examiner, the newspaper's logo, the headers, is a vigorous eagle. I started my life, my career, I will say, as a printer. I started with a very, very small printing shop, just have one single part-time employee, printing business cards and stationery. And it grows to become the public printing house. We have printed more than 40 publications, including the ethnic dailies, weeklies, and most minorities magazines. And in the early 80s, the family purchased a restaurant in San Francisco, Chinatown. And very quickly, I managed that restaurant to become a Chinese community's gathering place. And they have a nickname called Chinatown's Political Living Room or Dining Room. And President George H.W. Bush went to restaurants for 3 times. Vice President, when he was Vice President, President, and re-election. And our Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, the first victory celebration party for the Congress elections is held in that restaurant. That restaurant is the one to introduce me to the public and to working with community. I come to the America seeking for American dream. And I feel I'm living in American dream. So I start pay back to the community. Just like, just the video just says, I donate for the education. Especially, I like it very much is the family create a community farm. This farm is in San Francisco, it's the last farm. And in that farm, Chinese communities and Black communities, we're working together to help to provide the sustainable, fresh vegetables for the Bayview Hunter Point's residents. And another one I'd like to really mention. I was born in China during the World War II. I witnessed the sadness of the war. I saw my mother with the tear to see my 3 brothers rush out the door to join the army and fighting with the war. One of my brothers just became a China Air Force pilot. When I was young in China, I heard so much stories about America's pilot, come from far away, a country called America, come to China to help us to fight in the war. We call this the heroes, flying tigers. That's why at 2014, I bought an original Flying Tigers airplane made by U.S. McDonnell Douglas aircraft company, C-47 cargo airplane, nickname called Buzzy Buggy. And I donate that airplane to China. And right now, is permanent parking at China's Flying Tiger Heritage Park in Guilin, China. Talk my Asian American story could not have been possible without talking about the Chinese railroad workers' stories. These Chinese railroad workers came from China, come to America to help to build the transcontinental railroad that is across the whole United States and connect the East and the West. Their effort, their work, their desire want to be part of American fabric should not be forgotten. Few months ago, I bought a building in San Francisco, Chinatown, at the corner of Clay Street and Kearny. I want to convert that building to a Chinese rail workers museum. And this is the ongoing project I'm doing now. But right now, I'd like to talk a little bit about my happy place. I called that place my youth fantasy place. Just like I just said, I was born in China during the war. I don't have too much happy childhood. But in the United States, I found it. I bought the house aside the Highway 280, and the people call for Flintstone house. It's painted, yellow and purple. Especially at the backyard, you can see all the huge dinosaurs. They're living happily there. And another, a very long stairway from top to the bottom. I painted that for yellow color to follow the yellow brick road. And when you pass a rainbow gate, you get in the dreamland. Just like the movie Wizard of Oz, the song. Someday, over the rainbow, the sky are blue. The dream you dare to dream will come true. Thank you.
So Please join me in welcoming Sally Kay from Amazon, who's going to have a brief conversation about that yellow brick road.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Florence. Congratulations on your honor. It's such an honor to be here with you today and hear about your legacy. The kind of peace and kindness and diplomacy that you have offered throughout your life is something that we all need to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we just have a couple questions to hear a little bit more about your perspective.
All right.
Thank you for sharing it with us tonight. With your legacy and your passion for deepening relationships between the U.S. and China, are you disheartened by the current state of the tension between the two countries, and what's your perspective on that?
I think the United States and China's relationship now is really dropped to the bottom low. But I feel both country leaders realize one thing: cooperation is benefit for both. Conflict is harm both. With that understanding, I think here still have a hope to have a good term. And if this coming G20 in Indonesia, the two leaders can meet, I think it help to relaxing a little bit about tension. But I think a bottom line is two countries, the people have to understand each other. For my understanding, Chinese people understanding America more than American people understand China, because a lot of students come here to study, and a lot of tours come to United States to visit. So that's why, I with the Ford Foundation to have established the 100,000 strong. That is to answer Obama's call to send 100,000 United States youth go to China to study. So we are very proud, I have to say, that we already achieved the goal in 2015. I think the understanding for two countries is most important. Thank you.
We all know how important it is to see leaders go before us, and I'm curious what you might say to younger women who are just starting out into their careers and into their civic leadership.
Excuse me?
I wonder what you would say to young women who are just starting out in their careers.
Okay, for my own experience, I will say when you start your own career, the first, you have to prepare, have a very strong shoulder that can carry the very heavy burden. Then I think you have to always have courage to meet all kinds of different difficulties. Then, with the consistent yet flexible attitude to deal with everything. I think that is my experience.
She's a tough lady. Well, I think we all appreciate hens and eagles, but I think we all want to thank you tonight for being the peacock. Thank you so much, Florence.
Thank you very much.